Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, here I am, continuing with the previous live broadcast of What Should Men Do Now? And this is, of course, what is a self-actualized MGTOW man? And what I'm talking about is, what does a man do after he has reached red pill awareness? Because there's a void, right? There's that opening. Oh, incidentally, thanks for stopping by, everybody. I appreciate it. I'm going to be talking about what is a self-actualized, and I'm talking about post-feminism, right? A man who is red pill aware, a man who knows what feminism is, knows that he has participated in a gynocentric system designed essentially to enslave him, to offer him a false reward, a false narrative. And now he is going his own way. He's stepping away from this. Okay. The problem is, of course, where does he go? What does he do, moving forward? And I'm just getting started. Okay. So I want to give people a chance to show up here. Because I'm not pre-scheduling these things for now. I'm hoping to do these quite regular. The thing is, I have a lot to say. I want to talk to you guys about a lot of things, but I don't really have the ability to sit down and craft a video. I have the ability, but I don't have the time. I don't have the opportunity given my current situation. It is what I want to do, but I still need to talk to you. Okay. So even if the quality of the presentation, is lower, I don't care. I can't let that stop me. So that's what's going on. Okay. And again, the question is, after a man understands the situation and goes MGTOW, what does he do with his life then? Now, on the surface, it's fine. Okay. You are free. You get to do whatever you want. You are aware that it was a con job. Okay. That they were tricking you and that you were going along with it because you wanted the, and I don't mean you personally. Okay. The man wanted the blue pill world reward, right? He wanted to be a husband. He wanted to be a father. He wanted to be a member of the community, a member of society. He wanted to be recognized by his fellows and his peers. Okay, and he worked and he sacrificed for that. And of course, the rug was pulled out from under him, because that's the carrot, that's the bait, used to get the men to fall into this trap. And, of course, for most, it ends in, crashing upon the rocks. And so the men are going MGTOW. And the reason is, of course, because the system is bullshit. And the man allowed himself to believe in it. So that's why it hurts even more. You know what I mean? Now, on the surface, the man is free. You get to make your own choices now, your own decision. And MGTOW is that simple. You know what I mean? You've got this awareness, this, gynocentric nature, this female nature of society, of culture, especially of pop culture, right? And you guys understand that this is largely what's determining, our ethics, our values, what we pursue, right? So this is part of this undercutting of the male nature of the reality-based tool-building machine that man is and has to be in order to overcome reality, and build his tools. So this is his nature. This is our nature. And this system is predicated on the reward system, okay? That is, naturally, if you do the right thing, okay, if you work hard and do good work, you get paid and you earn lots of money because you've created great value. And then value is exchanged for the value you've created in the marketplace. Business is a great thing. Don't denigrate businessmen, business people at all, okay? They're creating something out of nothing. They're creating an opportunity. They're giving people jobs. You know, it is a really noble, virtuous thing. Even if the product they're producing is just like completely unimportant, just the act of, you know, creating the enterprise and giving people a means by which to sustain themselves, you know, because it is profitable and productive. That's a charity act. You know what I mean? That's an act of greatness, and we've lost that. And that's part of the reason why our market, you know, and our belief in our free market system has been undercut, and we don't defend it. You know, and it's become this corporate consumer playground for them to dictate our morals and our ethics, which are largely gynocentric, right? And they're not reality based, they're not male based. So the man is out here, you're out here doing the right things, working hard, making the sacrifices, and you're not getting promoted because they don't like you, because you might not have, you know, woke, enlightened leftist views, and you're not part of the group. And this is how that group operates. And you know that. And that's why the men go MGTOW, right? But it's more than that, because the belief in this system, right, the very foundation, the purpose of the man's life is gone, right? No, you're not getting married and having kids and building that and being this patriarchal figure. That's not going to, you know, that's not how it's going to work. And if you get yourself into that situation and you do that, after some years when things go bad, they're going to tear you apart. And everything that you've invested is just going to be used as a weapon and a tool against you. And this is what's happening in the majority of cases with men. And it's not just in marriage and divorce, okay? It's in seeking employment. It's in getting along, you know, in school. It's in all social situations. It's in all cultural, social situations. It's how you are portrayed in media as an idiot. You know, gotten used to that. Yes, you have. Men have. Okay, and now you have entire, you know, your largest social media platforms in the world dedicated to women with big butts making duck lips at the camera, while men walk around with their tails between their legs. That's the truth. I'm sorry. I gotta get up and move around a little bit. You know, I'm outdoors. Like I said, the quality, you know, of the broadcast isn't all that it should be, but it's the message that counts, right? And it's being here that counts. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know, right? What does a man do now that the main purpose of the man's life, and I know this is a strange thing to say, you know, in a MGTOW situation, but this is how the young man is brought through the system, okay? This is the Scooby snack that is held in front of the men, okay, to get them to go along when they don't want to go along, when it doesn't feel right, when they're no longer being true to themselves. And that is this blue pill, patriarchal family unit. And understand, it fulfills a very basic biological, instinctual, animalistic need that we have. And there's no reason to denigrate it. I mean, it's why we're all here. You know, trust me, I know what your parents were doing, you know, X number of years before you were, you know, X amount of time before you were born, right? So it's using, it's using that, okay? And now the man comes to the awareness that it's not going to work out, okay? This has been the driving force. This is why the salmon was swimming upstream, okay? This is why the rams were going up to the top of the mountain and bashing horns. And for the man, for the intelligent man, experienced man, who sees the blue pill world around him and the simping and the gynocentric nature of the world and female nature itself and what men do in order to gain access. It's gone. It's given up. It's like a ship without a destination anymore. So where does he go? What does he do? Right? He becomes self-actualized. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I was leading up to, but in the previous live stream. Okay? He has to become self-actualized. Well, he doesn't have to. Okay? You can just be MGTOW. That's fine. I'm not like putting any requirements here. He needs to become largely self-validating. Okay? But there's the problem, okay? We are a social animal. We do not exist in a vacuum. If you take a human being and you put them in a vacuum, they become retarded, okay? They lose all their skills. It's just like your basic mouse utopia, experiment. When you take away all challenges, when you take away all incentive, it's not like, wow, this is great for the person, right? It's like giving a kid $1 million. They destroy themselves with it. The only person worthy of inheriting $1 million is somebody who doesn't need it. So they say, right? So the man tries to become self-actualized, right? He defines his own purpose. And it's not just a man, it's any person who becomes disillusioned with the system, okay? You have to find your own way. You have to find your own meaning and purpose in life. It's not with the group. But this is a very hard thing to do because we are a social animal. We do not exist in a vacuum. We can't. We try to. We tell ourselves that we do. I had a comment in an earlier video, and the man said, look, I had to go out and run some errands today, and every one of the 5 places that I went to, it was a woman who was working there that I had to deal with, and yeah, that's the truth of it. Okay, there is no, I just don't deal with women. Now, you can forego the relationships, right? The commitments, the emotional attachments. Of course, you're still dealing with. But the problem is that the feedback loop, the reward system built into this system, which is based on, merit, reality, objective reality, physically based world. You do good work, you get good results. You build the building strong, you make a strong foundation, you make everything is, strong and supported, you've got a strong building. And it's worth money. It's worth value. It has value. You don't apply those principles and adhere to those standards, and you've just got something that just falls over when the first wind comes along. Right? That's right, man. We bring the 3 little pigs to reality. So this reality-based system, this reward-based system that man deals with in order to overcome physical reality, the system is skewed into a popular culture, into a kind of, who's popular. In other words, the most qualified person doesn't get the job. The most popular person might get the job. The person who's a friend of the person in charge might get a job. The person who belongs to a particular demographic that we perceive, that we represent as victimized may get a job. But the most qualified won't get the job. So the incentive, the reward system that motivates the free market positive behavior that turns the wheel, in the right direction, right? Like the marketplace keeps getting better and better because the people want more value for less. And there's nothing wrong with that. And this is innovation. So it drives it. And everything improves. But what if you start rewarding people not based on that, but based on what demographic group they belong to? And what if even the man, as strong and as smart as he is, able to be aware of all this, he's still not in a vacuum. He is still a social animal. He is still not a mystic living in a mountain. Every day he goes out, half of the people he's going to deal with at least generally, female. His biological purpose, which is, largely mating, right? That's been taken away. This social, cultural, fitting into the group aspect of that activity also taken away. The biological drive that he has to do that, it must be curtailed, because if he follows it, he's going to wind up with a few kids, he's going to wind up with an angry ex-wife, and he's going to wind up, in a form of enslavement. But that doesn't, still all the other men who are trying to get jobs, okay, who are trying to get a place on a college campus, who are trying to get a scholarship, who have worked hard and sacrificed and done the right things necessary to secure those things, they're not going to get it. The reward system has been skewed, right, geared towards popular culture, geared towards the values, the ideas, the principles that the ruling class, which is, media, big money, has. And we're downstream on all of it. So you're aware of this. You say, okay, I'm going to go my own way. I'm going to find my own way. You define your own purpose in life. You find something meaningful. You're going to find the cure for a disease, okay? You're going to be self-validating because the reward system is screwed up, right? Like they're not going to reward you for good work, okay? So you're just going to have to get by and do your work, and they won't value your work, even if it is of great value. So then you have to validate it yourself. You have to know. You have to stay on course. You have to know what you're doing. Like somebody writing a novel, because it's so big, and it's taking so long to finish it. Or when they first start writing novels. Where was I? I just got lost in the whole idea of being a famous author. Shit like that. Sorry, people. Yeah. Sorry about the quality here, too. I'm outdoors, I'm sure you can hear the wind blowing and everything like that. The cars driving by. Have I got anything going on in the chat? Oh, yeah. This thing might just cut off right in the middle of where I'm at. Yeah, I'm at 50% on the battery. MGTOW Smurf is here. Thank you, MGTOW Smurf. I appreciate you. I really do. Night is here. Yes. The use of language. This is key. You think that the most seductive part of media, videos, movies, is visuals. It's not. It's the audio. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead and watch Iron Man with the sound off. And it's impressive visuals, but it doesn't have the same captivating quality. It doesn't really make you lock on with your eyes and then, just stare, hypnotized to wait what's going to happen next. These instinctual. This is all instinctual, but the sound is a huge part of it. So, yeah. And, the problem with, me making my videos is that I can't speak freely in the environment where I can get the good sound, right? So I can speak freely outdoors, largely. So I'm thinking about, making a decent recording outdoors, bringing it indoors, and then working on it. That I should be able to do. But is it the right, is it the best use of my time as far as reaching people, as far as spreading the MGTOW message? Is that what it is, right? To craft this higher end video, or to just come out here and talk. And I'm thinking just coming out here and talking is probably, the better use of the time anyway. So the rug is pulled out from under the men. The reward system has been taken away from them. And this awareness, like the guy doesn't have to know anything about MGTOW. He could never have heard of MGTOW. And yet he can have this awareness of, shit, I'm being conned here. They're jerking me around. I'm sorry. They're playing me here. And I wasn't treated fairly. I wasn't treated equally. And, I'm not going to participate in a system, that does that. And more than that, I believed in that system. I was raised to believe in that system. And it was a false belief that was to my harm and disadvantage. What a thing to have to accept. What a thing to have to admit to the self. This is the tough one. I screwed it up. I got it wrong. I trusted her. I trusted the system. I did my best, and it all blew up in my face. And I was an idiot for doing it, and nobody cares. Okay. So that's the void that's left. Now you fill it with your own purpose. Okay. You find your own meaning. You find your own purpose. You try to fill it, and you do. And you stick to it. But the problem is, you're a social animal. You need some validation. A man needs validation from the world around him. And this is part of the reward system, okay, that drives the value-based behavior, the new inventions, the things that are of value to the market. That's where we are. What does a self-actualized man look like? What does a self-validating man look like? I don't know. I know that I can't do it. I do it to a degree, but I know that I come up short also. And this is probably what Nietzsche was talking about with, the Superman, okay? That he becomes his own standard, of judgment. And it's much more involved than that. We could go much deeper, but at the end, he says, do I think, that I can achieve that? And the answer is no. Do I think any man can achieve that in this, generation, in this time? And the answer is no. But we can perhaps move closer, and a misinterpretation of that would be, the whole crime and punishment Dostoevsky theme of, the man who decides, his own values, and becomes a murderer, Raskolnikov, and then is consumed by his own guilt, right? Like he suggests that he's above this and that he'll just do it because it's for the best, it's for the good, for the most, for himself, for the crippled girl, and it's just an old lady, he becomes his own standard. And then, of course, he, goes, off the rails, both in behavior and in, the effect that this whole system has on him, crime and punishment. Shit, I might be living some sort of version of that. Shit, we might all be. Anyway, yeah, hey, we go deep here at the Howard Dare channel, right? I should have told you. I should have warned you. But most of you know that. So there it is. So I'm going to leave it at that, okay? I don't know. I don't have the answers to this. I think this is the important question. And I'm hoping that this little discussion here leads to, another set of questions that I can come on here and talk about. And that'll only prove, and more people will come here, and we'll spread the MGTOW message more and more, and the MGTOW community will grow more and more. And we will help more and more men, even people, okay? Women, children, everyone benefits from the MGTOW message. This is my view. So if you haven't, go ahead and find my PayPal donation link on one of my other videos, and click on that and support the Howard Dare channel so that I can continue to make content, so that I can continue to survive and exist. I would really appreciate it. And if you can't, don't worry about it. Do what you got to do. Chill. Watch some videos, get motivated, think about things, make a plan, try some things out, see how it goes, adjust the plan. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. And you got to hustle all the time. So just do that. That's all I want, right? I just want to be able to help men and help people out. So let me know what you think about this, which is what does the man do now that he has MGTOW knowledge, and has this awareness? What does he fill the void of what was the blue pill world and his blue pill ambitions? What does he fill that void with? And understand, he's a social animal. He can't be completely self-validating. He has to get positive feedback from the world and the community to a degree in some way. I mean, that's also built into us. So these are some of the things we're dealing with. And I want to know what you guys think about it, because I want your experience and I want your knowledge and I want to share it with the other men, right? Good deal. It works. It helps. Okay. So I really am leaving it at that for now. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I intend to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.